The Menus tab of your Manager account is where you control the information affiliated with the menu of your restaurant. You'll notice that there are two subtabs, a Category subtab and an Item subtab. You'll want to begin with the Category subtab, where you'll set up the structure of your menu. For example, you might have several different types of menus at your restaurant, a lunch menu, a dinner menu, etc. If you want to add a new type, for example, special drinks, you could do so and click Submit, and it will add this to the bottom of your list of menu types. You can also delete any of these types at any time by just clicking the Delete button. Also, each of these menu types can have menu categories underneath them. For example, at this restaurant you can see that the lunch menu has 3 categories: appetizers, lunch specials, and drinks. However, if your restaurant doesn't have different types of menus, you can also use the types as your categories. So for example, instead of having a lunch menu, a dinner menu, etc., you would just have your appetizers, lunch specials, and drinks listed as your menu types. Once you've set up the structure of your menu, you can then move on to items, which is where you actually begin to populate your menu with your food items. So, for example, at this restaurant you can see a very long list of items. But the easiest way to look at this is to actually filter the menu by category. So you can look at, for example, only the dinner menu appetizers. When you do this, you'll see a shorter list of menu items, and it's easier to look at this way. It's also easier to populate your menu this way. For example, you can select the category that you want to enter items to, and you can select the location that you want to add the item to. If the item is available at all locations, you choose all locations. You can then click Add New Item here. What this is going to do is it's going to open all the fields affiliated with a menu item, and it's going to automatically check dinner appetizers and all locations, since that was what you had filtered. You can then enter the name of your item, a description, a default price, and if you want to, you can upload an image that's affiliated with this menu item. This will be displayed on your app. The default price means the price that's going to automatically show for this menu item at each location. However, if the price, for example, is different in Los Angeles, you can enter a different price there, and this will override the default price. So in San Diego, you'll see a $5 miso soup, but in Los Angeles, you'll see a $7 miso soup. You can also, of course, choose not to include a particular item at a location. And if I do that, when you go to your app and you go to the Los Angeles location, you're not going to see miso soup. You're only going to see it at the San Diego location. When you're done entering your new item, you can click Submit, or if you decided not to make the changes and add the item, you can click Cancel. So if you are entering a menu from scratch, the easiest way to do so is to go category by category and continue to add new items to this category until you're done filling that category. Then you can move on to the next category. You can of course always just click Add New Item here. This opens the same fields, however it just doesn't automatically select a menu category or a particular location. Once you've finished entering your menu, it's easy to browse by filtering by each location, or of course you can always go back and look at the entire menu altogether by filtering just for all categories and all locations. You can get help at any time by clicking on the Help button, which provides a help text file that can answer many of the frequently asked questions.